Today's episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Full Sail University.
Hey guys, I'm Chris Adams, and I'm the DP for the Film Riot short film Real Gone, directed by Seth Worley. And Ryan Connolly asked you guys to send me some questions, so I'm going to try and answer them as best I can. So here goes. Okay, so what is my favorite shot in Real Gone, and how did we accomplish it? I think my favorite shot is probably one that's not going to stand out to a whole lot of people, but it's the shot where Darren gets out of the bathtub and he's just like soaking wet, and he goes and gets the extension cord out. And I love the shot for a couple of reasons. Number one is Darren is hilarious, and number two, I think the shot just kind of overall really captured the mood and the tone that we were going for in the short film. And despite what it looks like, there's actually quite a bit of lighting going on. There's a Kino rigged to the ceiling in the bathroom. There's a Kino bulb in the kitchen. There's some lights up on the ceiling in the kitchen, and we gelled a lot of the practical bulbs in there. So yeah, it was a big team effort despite what it looks like, and I'm really happy with what we achieved with it. And then my second favorite shot's got to be the shot where Darren sits up after he gets revived. I love that shot because I think it just turned out way more epic than any of us thought it was going to. It was just one of those things where at the end of a very stressful location, everything just kind of came together perfectly. We had ambulances, which was awesome. The sun was at the perfect location, and the smoke actually drifted the right direction for once, and so it turned out really cool, and I'm really proud of that shot as well. What rigs would I recommend for an entry-level cinematographer? I think if you're talking about, like a shoulder rig versus, a Steadicam or things like that, I mean, if you're starting out, I would try and kind of get whatever's going to be the most versatile, because you're going to want something that you can take on every shoot. You're going to want something that you can do handheld with, you could put on a tripod, and if you can, some sort of Steadicam type rig. Personally, I've had a Red Rock rig for a long time, and I love it. They make great stuff. Zacuto also makes some really good products, so I would check those guys out. I think the biggest challenge was probably the locations. We had quite a few locations, and we didn't have a whole lot of time at each one. And for me, the biggest challenge was that I didn't get to location scout at all with Seth. And so it was one of those things where we had a general plan going into each scene, but we really couldn't figure it out until we got in there. So it was kind of like a show up and figure it out as we go type of shoot. And so that was probably the biggest challenge for me. Honestly, there really wasn't that many challenges on this shoot. It was a really good crew. It was, working with Seth is really awesome. So that was the biggest challenge, was locations. The best tip I would give somebody who's just starting out is to be a good person to work with. I mean, you could be literally like the best person in your field, but if you're a jerk, you're probably not going to get hired that much. I would definitely say that the film business is a relationship business. So be a good person to work with, be professional, be respectful, and be on time and work hard. Work ethic is definitely important. I can't tell you how many times I've been on set with somebody and they might be a PA or a grip or a camera assistant, and even if they're not the best at their job, if they have an incredible work ethic and a good attitude, I'm gonna hire those guys just again and again. So how did we pull off the blurring effect in the Paradise scenes? We talked a little bit about this in the behind the scenes, and I did a pretty terrible job of explaining what a tilt shift lens is, so I'll try and do a little better job here. But we did two effects in that scene. And the first one was we used Canon tilt shift lenses. And what a tilt shift lens is a lens where you can manually adjust the front element of the lens to where you are changing the plane of focus. So you can basically get very selective with what's in focus and what's out of focus, to the point where you could have something on one side of the frame that is very close and in focus, and on the other side of the frame you can have something that is in the distance in focus. So you can get some really interesting effects with tilt shift lenses. The other thing we were doing was using the Canon Cine Primes, and we were lens whacking. So I was holding the camera supported by an easy rig, and so I had one hand on the camera and one hand on the prime lens, and they were not connected. And so I would move the lens back and forth, and you get a lot of really cool light leaks coming in, and you can really be selective with the focus on that as well. And it just kind of gives it that kind of otherworldly effect. And I'm sure Ryan's done a lot of tutorials on lens whacking and stuff like that, and so you should definitely go check that out because it can be very useful for a lot of different effects.
If you dream of becoming a filmmaker, Full Sail University has degree programs to help you achieve that goal, including the on-campus film bachelor degree. Throughout the film's bachelor degree program, you'll learn the filmmaking process from start to finish on a campus that houses the technology and resources you need. In the online digital cinematography bachelor program, you'll learn what it takes to write, shoot, and edit your own films. Online students receive a technology package that includes a professional level digital video camera. Full Sail is also excited to announce the new film production master's degree program designed to give you an advanced education in the behind-the-scenes aspects of filmmaking. Full Sail grads have worked on films like The Hunger Games, Gravity, and Film Riot, because I also went there. Full Sail University also offers a variety of campus and online degrees in fields related to the entertainment and media industry. Visit fullsail.edu/Film Riot to learn more.
All right, guys, thanks for asking questions. Hopefully my answers made sense and helped you guys out in some way. So appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you guys later.